Happy birthday, Adam.
We don't know if it's the starter or the battery. We're going to haul the boat over, towed by the Heron, and then the mechanic will let us know this is a quick fix, this is a longer fix.
So I'm relatively new at this whole like boat ownership thing, and it just feels like every single like other day there's like something going on with the boat.
FYI, track bugs.
What? White boats attract bugs?
They just like to hang out on the boat.
Like, can you throw it back
Oh,
to
you're
him?
saying throw the rest of this one.
Bye, Nick.
Yeah, day one got the boat, day two, boat didn't work. And that like we've talked about, like it is an issue, but at the same time it's also just kind of like, oh, more purpose. And that's something about this place that's kind of nice in preparing. When you talk about like you're getting here and you have to spend 2 weeks and you have to bring all the things, you're not just bringing the things you need, you're also bringing the things that you're like, okay, what if? And also like I might want to do these things and I won't be able to leave, or if I do want to leave, it's going to still add this much time to whatever the time is that I'm going to have to take to get this thing done. So you're actually always kind of prepared and planning while you're here. And so things like take on more value just by the simple fact that they take more work. And so they also provide more enjoyment. Grab the tackle box on the ground, bud.
Why am I doing your dirty work?
Well, you're already trying to handle so many things. We're only bringing out 2 of the bad boys.
Life jackets. These are overrated.
To sit on.
Oh.
You bring that with you, the camera?
Yeah, of course.
Well, might as well bring it.
Old Faithful. This taps into my thought of how to live a longer life and how to live double days. I always think, I think us as humans, we all want to live longer lives. Like that's like at the top of our minds is like, okay, like what sort of health biohacking sort of exercise that I can do to live longer. I'll eat healthy, I'll exercise, like whatever it is. We really prioritize having a healthy lifestyle, but perhaps maybe even skip a couple key things, which is simple living. And what I've found is how I live longer, because we've been able to tap into this. We call them double days, triple days, where it's like, man, I felt like a week today, you know, and that happens almost every single day here. Like we've only been here for 2 weeks and it's already felt like 3 months. I've found that the way to tap into that is to do those tasks that are just a little bit have a few more steps to them. So instead of going to the thermostat and turning it up, boom, done, you got to go cut the wood, and you take the wood, you bring it into the house, and you got to stoke the fire, and then the fire goes out. I got to, get it back going again. Like, everything comes with this sort of primal process that takes 3 times the length of anything else, which in doing so sounds like the most annoying thing ever because we want stuff now. But in fact, it's actually really nice, and you'd think that your days would be shorter because you're tripling the process of every single thing, but in fact, for some reason, it makes the days longer, and maybe that's something that we're not tapping into every day. Earlier on today, while we were towing the boats, Nick found a little pike out here, and now he's on the mission to catch it. I'm literally just on the mission to sort of be I'd say a groupie. I feel my job mostly is to sit behind a computer where it is not very tactile. I hit some keys, like that's the most, if I were to ever get any sort of calluses, it would be like at the very tip of my fingers, maybe.
Like a guitar player.
Like 1% of what a guitar player gets.
A ukulele player.
Like a ukulele player. That's right. A triangle player. Let's call it that. Okay. So like my hands do not really get too many calluses on it, and it's embarrassing. Like I'm like, who am I? And I have this image of who I'd like to be, and that person is someone who has calluses on their hands and someone who is getting their hands dirty. And there's something about just the satisfaction of getting a video project complete, or doing 30 minutes of gardening, for example. And it's like the two are almost uncomparable for the satisfaction that happens at the end of the day. If I were to, like I was thinking about this earlier on, if I were to think about my last year, and like I use this place as like a memory anchor. It's like, okay, like what are the memories that circulate from last year or now this year, which we're calling season 2. But if I think back on season 1, I did a lot of video editing here. I did a lot of project editing, and we also built a lot of stuff. And if I go back on the stuff that I think about as memory making, I can't remember a single moment of when I was editing here. I can't remember a single second of which when I was holding the camera, but I can continually think of times where you and I were building something, setting something up, going for a swim, doing something active. And it's, if we want to live longer, if we want to have more memories, because it's all we live for, we got to use our hands.
There's been so many sunsets that if I really think about, I can remember, but like sort of not like, I'd have to probably look at photos and things. And I think that visually and audibly, there's a certain memory that comes, but there, like when you build something or when you are creating from the earth, or grounding or anything like that, I think that that's like genuinely like imprinting the memory on you. And so I think that you can remember things where you were like physically involved with it better than you can stuff that you saw or stuff that you heard. Just because there is this, like, your body remembers, you can be like, I remember what it was like to move that chest freezer into the boat. I remember what it was like to pull that deck all the way down to the water. Like all the things where you've had to like move and hold and grip and build. There's like it's like imprinting code on you that you can look back on and very quickly like call from memory.